Hi there, welcome to the halftime huddle. Sorry, I missed a couple. Yeah, as they say, shift quotes happens, things get in the way. But I'm back, and I will get into the swing of things. And to be honest, that can be one of the discussions we're going to talk about today. If you haven't been ever come to the halftime huddle before, this is an opportunity halfway through the week to just refocus. You know, it's a we all start the week with the good intentions. Gets to Wednesday hump day, and sometimes the energy flow goes a little bit, and we need a little bit of a bump. So today is every Wednesday at 12 o'clock. I come. My name is Mark Webb, and we talk about things that might help you through the second half to make your second half the best half. And again, if you don't know me, my name is Mark Webb. Wherever you are, you'll see my the profile I'm in, and just follow my profile, see what I do. I help small businesses have the opportunity to spend some quality time with their peers, leveraging the experience of their peers and the expertise of their peers, so they can grow together rather than trying to struggle on their own. So this is my opportunity to add a little bit towards that. So some of you may have seen a post I've done earlier about Vonda's workshop, Vonda Varga's workshop. We had one yesterday. It was wonderful, entertaining, and very empowering. And if you missed it, obviously do check out Vonda's profile here, and I'll put the links in the comments, and her website to follow her and see any more opportunities to spend a bit of time talking to her, listening to her. The post was about one of the tools she mentioned, which is the tool of reframing, which is actually, just changing your focus on and context on what may be considered to be a negative statement or a negative outcome or a negative situation and circumstance. Reframing can help you see some of the opportunities in there that statement, rather than always focus on the negatives. And that leads me to right up to where we are at the moment in terms of that focus. The quote I talked about, and I'll show you the quote. The quote is from, I don't know who it's attributed to first, but mostly from Tony Robbins. And it's where focus, oh, there you go, focus, we need to get it in focus. Where focus goes, energy flows. And I'd be interested to know whether you feel that, whether that's something you feel that, if you're focusing on something, a lot of your attention, a lot of energy, a lot of your makeup, etc., sort of flows in that direction. And we have an opportunity. Most of us a default, and this is a default based upon the nature of being human beings. That often we focus on the negatives, because the negatives keep us safe. Basically, if we focus on avoiding pain, avoiding a heartache, and avoiding the things that make us feel fear, feel pain, etc., then we can avoid that kind of stuff and maybe survive a little bit longer. So there's a survival bias towards negativity, but that doesn't always help us. I'm pretty certain you've been in a situation. It's essentially back to this quote, the focus flows, where you've got yourself into a bit of a spiral. You've focused on what's going wrong, the bad luck you've got, the pain, the heartache, and it just keeps the spiral worse and worse. Every time you focus on it, every time you pay your attention to it, you notice something else that's gone wrong. You notice something else that's causing a problem, and you just spiral into into a negativity sort of thingy. I mean, I'd be interested to know, how often does that happen to you? It happens to me. I get myself into a little bit of a funk and a tizzy. And I just need to shake myself out sometimes, and it's because I've got myself into that flowing of energy where I'm focusing on the negative. I'm focusing on the things I can't do. I'm focusing on the problems I have. But how much? I mean, do we want to spend so much of our energy on that on those things? Because while they may come from a situation where it's keeping you safe, In the past, it may not be helping you grow and helping you move forward. And you're spending a lot of time and attention on that. So it's a lot better to try and focus on some of the more empowering type mindsets, the more empowering energies, the things like joy, the things you can control, the things that make you give you confidence, the things that make you learn and grow rather than focus on the negativity. And one of the tips, and now I've expanded that tips. I've seen it sort of, now you can see it sort of everywhere. And if you want to get one of these things, you can pick one up really easily, or you can make one yourself. But she talked about a thing called a happy jar. She said she used the example of her own sort of situation where she was in a bit of a funk. She'd gone through a bit of a tough period, and she'd seen this happy jar. She wanted to try anything and everything to try and get her out of this funk. And she thought, well, why not try it? She got herself a little mason jar. And if those of you don't know, mason jars is just a glass jar with a clip on top. You can use any jar or any container you like. And she made an intention to focus on as many things as possible, but a focus was to make 5 new comments about things that had happened that day that would make her feel happy. She'd got quite a big one, so she figured, if I spend and keep this going for a year, it'll be good, and maybe I can sort of change the things that happen to me by just being a little bit more focused on positivity, etc. So she had this little jar, and for the first, it's really hard if you're making any kind of changing focus and changing mindset. It's a struggle to keep going, and she was saying sort of simple little things. She tried anything and everything to get those 5 little post-it notes folded in pieces of paper into her jar, just to make sure that she could do it. And I'm pretty certain, knowing the way that things go, there will be a day or two when she didn't make the 5. But she carried on, got through the 2 weeks, got through the first couple of stages of this, and she found that it was getting a little bit easier. There's a sort of plateau when things start to get a little bit easier, and she got, next time she got maybe a more than 5, 7 or 8 or 9, and then she got to 10 or 11 or whatever. And she mentioned in the statement she had this, and it was quite a big jar. This big jar of things that she'd thought were going to take a year. She started in January as a good intention. January, wherever she goes. Middle of February, I think early March, February sort of thing, 2 or 3 months into the year, it was full. It was full. It was amazing how that kind of level of change made a big difference. And then she tried another one, and that was full in a month. So after that, she felt that she never needed to do it again, and keeps those mason jars full of positive statements as a constant reminder to focus on the positivity, focus on the happiness, the joy that she can get, and the joy that she sees in the world. The other thing that sort of I can see you can add on to it, and I love to do these a lot, is a tracker. It's essentially like a tick box. And I know, I think I've come from Seinfeld. Seinfeld, the same sort of thing, is talking about jokes and talking about doing one day at a time, ticking off one day, etc. And that's another thing you can do to remind yourself. Have a thing in your diary or a thing on your calendar, and mark off every day you actually have spent some time or focusing on that positive happiness, joy giving, etc. That can add on and help to a happy jar. But the other thing she mentioned, and I've just banged my thing, so I hope you didn't hear that too noisy, is it doesn't have to just be happy. They talk about the thing called a happy jar, but any kind of positive mindset change. For instance, if you're feeling lacking in confidence, you could spend some of the times just reminding yourself of where you are, where you have skills and confidence, and make a statement or make a little card and do that. And so you focus not on how unconfident you are and how shy you are and how you're lacking in it. You could use the other way to focus on the confidence you have. Learning. When do you think you need to keep learning stuff? What do you learn every day? A couple of things you learn every day, put them in there, eventually fill it up, and you become more focused on getting the positive learning experiences out of the day rather than the failure negativity out of the day. Growth. Where do you find an area where you take a step forward? what are the things you started and you are going to get better off. And people do a lot of things by measuring. If you're into fitness and sport, you might measure the number of reps you do for something, and you keep measuring that. And as you see the measurements, you see the change. So it's about, again, the little tips to keep your focus away from the negativity and towards the positivity. So that was my just little tip for the middle of the week. I hope you find it really useful. I hope you find other ways of tracking and changing your focus towards a little bit more positivity and a little bit more empowering types statements and empowering type attitudes. I'd love to hear if you've used a happy jar or the equivalent. I'd love to hear if you use a tracker ticking things off to say how many days in a row, or how many hours in a row, or how many whatever in a row you've done to certain things, and what you do. Because I know one of the challenges with tracker is you've got to your 5 days in a row. As I said, shift happens, things happen in your day, and it breaks. What do you do to carry on? The tracker's there. In my mind, the tracker is still there as a reminder you've got to do it. So it helps me to have that tracker so that I know if there's a gap, I can start another one tomorrow. It doesn't matter whether I've had a gap. It's just a matter that the tracker's there. I mark it every day. I do things and I get better, and it gets easier, and eventually I don't need to track it anymore. So I'd love to hear your experiences of this. What other tools you use to keep focus? What other tools you use to remind yourself to focus on the positive rather than negativity? And what do you do to, like I said, halfway through the week, what do you do to carry on getting through the second half of the week? Does a tracker help you? Would a happy jar help you? Please let me know, and I will keep myself a tracker for these halftime huddles, and I will see you next week. So it's been lovely talking to you, and I will see you next time. Hi there, I'm back on my post-credit chat. I really would love to hear your opinions about the halftime huddle, what things you'd like me to talk about, and in particular, I'd love to speak to you if you want to come on and chat, talk about what the things you do halfway through the week to help you through the rest of the week, the little tricks, the little tips, describe your business, etc. Then do please let me know. Message me, say hi. I'd love to talk to you. And I love to give the opportunity to come online with the halftime huddle. So do please say hi, and again, I will see you next week.